you mean, oh, they look at this Moore family coming through the door here. This is a big deal here, right?
So that was a big deal,
That
because
was.
in 6 years, that's the very first time I've used this thing up in the great room, so that was exciting.
And you did it with authority.
So it is 6:32 on April 16th, 2025, and the Nahant Board of Selectmen meeting is now in session. We're going to start the meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance, so please join me in standing and pledging to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We have opening comments, a lot of opening comments. It's kind of the warm-up period for those of you who don't always go to these meetings. So, resident parking stickers for 2025 are now available at nahant.org. Stickers purchased through March 1st through June 30th are $15 each. Stickers purchased July 1st through December 31st are $20 each. So, you only need one sticker. The price just goes up July 1st. Nahant Town Hall will be closed April 21st in observance of Patriots' Day. Annual town election is on Saturday, April 26, 2025. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Nahant Town Hall. Early in-person voting will be April 22nd through the 24th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Also, absentee ballots are available at the town clerk's office. There will be no mail-in ballots this year. So for anybody that's away next week, you can just come into the clerk's office and vote right in their office, which is what I did the other day. Annual town meeting is on Saturday, May 17th, 2025 from 12:30 p.m. at Nahant Town Hall. Visit the town meeting page at nahant.org for more information. There are scholarships available. One of the scholarships includes the Charles Kelly Scholarship, which is a $1,000 scholarship awarded by the Board of Selectmen and is available to a Nahant resident who has been accepted at an accredited 2- or 4-year college. The Charles Kelly Scholarship applications are due back by April 18th. That is Friday, so I hope we have some applications. Visit the scholarship page at nahant.org for more information and a full list of scholarships available. So there are other scholarships in addition to the Charles Kelly scholarships, and I would encourage any high school seniors to apply for those. The money's there, and I'm sure their parents would appreciate it. Metal recycling, metal, white goods, TVs, computers, etc. Recycling is the last Saturday of each month from beginning April 26th through October 25th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon behind the DPW garage. Fees may apply and a Nahant resident sticker is required. We have curbside leaf pickup on Mondays starting April 28th. That's next week, right? Yep. On the week of Memorial Day, the pickup will be on Tuesday. All leaves must be in biodegradable bags, no open barrels, root balls, or branches. Bags must be curbside by 7 a.m. The real estate tax bills are due May 1st, 2025. Contact the Treasurer Collector's Office for more information. SWIM's Spring Beach Cleanup is on Sunday, May 4th, 2025, starting at 11 a.m. Volunteers will gather at the Lowlands parking lot and then disperse to Doggy Beach and Short Beach. Cleanup bags will be provided, and we strongly suggest bringing gloves. Also, the YMCA Stride Along the Tide 5K road race is Saturday, May 10th, 2025, beginning at 8 a.m. at the Lowlands parking lot. Visit the community calendar at nahant.org for race route and registration information. Market by the Sea 2025 season is on Saturdays, June 21st, July 19th, August 16th, and September 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Flash Road Park. For more information or to become a vendor, visit the market page at nahant.org or email ktaylor@nahant.org. Town Hall internship. The town is now accepting resumes for a paid town hall summer internship. View full job description and application on the employment page at nahant.org. Johnson School Educational Greenhouse Memorial Bricks. The Johnson School is in the process of building an educational greenhouse, and to help fund the ancillary costs of the project, the school is offering a chance for people to purchase engraved bricks that will be part of the walkway leading up to the structure. Bricks are $100 each and can be purchased at johnsonschool.org. That is all the announcements. Gene or Rob?
Could you repeat that?
Yeah. It's
Josh,
all online.
I will read this bulletin from the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, otherwise known as NOAA. 2 North Atlantic right whales have been actively feeding off of East Point, Nahant since Sunday, April 6th. Mariners are urged to keep a lookout and transit this area slowly. To protect right whales, NOAA Fisheries has regulations that prohibit approaching or remaining within 500 yards, 1,500 feet, of a right whale. 500 yards is the length of about 5 football fields. These regulations, and I think this is the important part here, these regulations apply to vessels and aircraft, including drones, and to people using other watercraft such as surfboards, kayaks, and jet skis. Any vessel within 500 yards of a right whale must depart immediately at a safe, slow speed. All vessels are advised to stay at least 100 feet away from all other whales.
Thanks, Rob. Welcome. All right. Next on the agenda, I think, is thank you to me. I was going to say a few words anyway. I won't extend anybody's evening, but thank you all in particular for being here, especially my family. Really appreciate that. And it's been a huge honor for me to represent the people of Nahant as a selectman for these past 6 years. It's gone by fast, believe it or not. This is a bittersweet moment for me, honestly. There definitely have been challenges, stressful times, more sleepless nights than I care to admit. But it's also been a lot of fun. The most fun part for me has been how much I've learned, how the town really works, and I'll admit that it's a lot more complicated than I realized. Things take a lot longer than you think they should, but it's really all about persevering through those challenges and fulfilling our responsibility and getting to the end goal. So the other fun part for me has been all the people that I've gotten to know that I wouldn't have otherwise, and that's been a lot of fun for me. So that's the part that I'll definitely miss. I look back on when I started 6 years ago. Tony had just been on board for, 7 or 8 months maybe, and a little green himself as a 31-year-old or so, and but Tony's done an amazing job. I've learned a lot from Tony and also my fellow selectmen Thibault and Canty and their predecessors on the board. So that's been a really nice experience, and I think that I can say with 100% certainty that Nahant is in a much better place than it was 6 years ago, and I take no credit for that. It's just it's been a lot of teamwork, and so it's really been about everybody pitching in. All the town employees are all working together at this time, and all the people that volunteer their time for committees and boards. There's an amazing number of people that contribute, and that's really what it's all about, is thinking about how can I leave this place in a better situation than when I arrived. And that's what I've tried to do as a selectman. It's just a simple goal. Maybe the selectman role gets more attention than some other boards or committees, but, in the end, it's really just, what can I do to help make my little town a better place? And, maybe it's just picking up the trash on the beach, or on the sidewalk, or, working on the open spaces, which are in great shape. I think our finances are in a really great place, thanks to a lot of hard work from our town employees, and our open spaces and public places are in great shape and getting better every day. So I feel good about it. In a week, I won't be a selectman anymore, but as a resident and a taxpayer, I feel really good about where the town is right now, and I'm confident, with this team in place that that will continue. So I'm very pleased about that. With that, I'll just say thank you again to the town for putting your trust in me. I've tried to keep it simple, which is just, do whatever's best for the town of Nahant in the long term, fulfill the wishes of town meeting. People sometimes forget that everything really comes down to town meeting. Everyone in our open form of government gets one vote. My vote doesn't count any more than anyone else's. The town meeting decides what needs to happen, and our job is to make it happen within the budget that is also approved at town meeting. So, that's what we're trying to do here, and I'm sure that will continue after my departure. So thank you again, Nahant, and especially to you, those that are here. And yeah.
You can still do it right in.
I knew that was coming. I told Ellen Dean was most likely going to say it.
Yeah.
I don't think Diane wants that, though.
Hey, if I could just say a couple of things on his behalf. Everything that he outlined just then is everything that he's done. You've done more than I can imagine any selectman ever being asked to do or doing. You've really been a credit to the town, your family, and everybody. When I first met him, it was on the lawn outside 6 years ago, and I told him I was thinking of running for selectman. And he just shook his head like, what are you, crazy? And I said, I just want to make sure that I'd be okay, if it would fit what you're looking for a co-pilot. And he said, yeah, absolutely. And I had talked to Mark Cullinane just previous to that and asked him about you. And he said, no, he says, he's kind of like the Renaissance man. He says he does everything, and he does it to perfection. And it goes from sports, racket sports, whatever sports, skiing, sailing, you name it. But you've transitioned that. Excuse my voice, by the way. You've transitioned that into political and professional as well. And what you've done over the past 6 years is more than commendable. You're the best.
Josh, let me just chime in with what Jean just said. You obviously have accomplished a lot. I'd like to say that I probably know you better than anybody else in the room, but given the room that we have here tonight, I suspect I'm not even close. So, you know what, the one thing that I remember from well back is you being the kid that was chasing errant basketballs down Winter Street, which we all appreciated, I know, because most of them got knocked down there because of me. But as was said, I've known you in that capacity since you were very young. I've known you as a competitive and able seaman and sailor. You are just the best I could imagine working with respect to professionalism, integrity, honesty. It's been an honor to work with you, and I look forward to having the opportunity to speak with you without having to worry about a meeting violation. So, good luck, and we'll see you a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right?
All right, thanks. Really appreciate it.
So Josh, I also would like to say a couple words. As you mentioned, you've been, I guess, my longest tenured selectman since I've been here. I like this tradition that we've created of doing the last meeting here in the main hall, which is where you started out. Over the 6 years we've gone through, we've done a lot of different things. As you outlined, going through the pandemic was one of those things that no one saw coming, and doing monthly budgets before we could get to a town meeting to approve our annual appropriation, and the grants and support letters, and collective bargaining agreements, and capital projects. The list goes on and on. It's a long list, and it seems like, how did we fit all that stuff into 6 years? I'll miss our, Josh and I have a similar commute time, and usually spend our morning commute or evening commute on the phone with each other, going over a number of different tasks, and I'll miss that. And sometimes a lot of those conversations have been not about work too. As you know, I've became a father in those 6 years, so we've spent a lot of times talking about, becoming a new parent. So I'll always remember that too. But additionally, on behalf of the staff, you've always been extremely supportive of the staff, and they've always felt your support. So I thank you for supporting them and having their back, and working with us to solve the town's problems collectively. The team came together and got you this going away gift that I'd like to present you. So it says, Josh Antrim, thank you for your many years of dedicated service to the town of Nahant. I know it's one of your favorite spots. It was hard to pick. I know there's a number of spots around town that are your favorite spots, but that one I thought was...
Thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure working with you two and my predecessors on the board, and Tony, as you mentioned, you're the only town administrator I've ever worked with, and you have really made my job much, much easier. And that goes really for all the staff. I was just thinking this morning how much easier Kristen Taylor has made our jobs. We get all this documentation served to us on a silver platter, so organized, and I also want to remember her predecessor, Bobby Joe Blair, who also similarly made our job so much easier. So, thank you and all the staff.
I was tempted to get you a smoke alarm as a good president. Ellen should know what I'm talking about, but I hear it's been replaced, so.
Yeah. New batteries. I'll tell you the story. So Tony stopped by my house to talk about something, I don't know, 8 months ago, and one of the smoke alarms was chirping. And he says, oh, you should replace that battery. And then he came by maybe a month ago, and it was still chirping. And he was threatening to call the fire chief on me. And so I did put new batteries in.
Good.
So we're safe now. Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you all very much, and appreciate you all being here. So, all right, new business. We do have a very short meeting, so I move that. We have some events to request. So, anyone want to make a motion? I can if you want.
Okay, yes. Mr. Chairman, I move the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the following event requests. The Coolidge Middle School Annual Kite Day on Thursday, June 5th, 2025, beginning at 12 p.m. at Short Beach, and the Johnson Elementary School Annual Field Day on Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, beginning at 8 a.m. at Flash Road Park.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion on these two events? I think I'll just add that the Kite Day for the Coolidge School has become kind of a tradition over the last several years. Of course, the nice event, so we're happy to host that. And as of course is Johnson School Field Day, big day, right, Liv? Any further discussion on that motion?
If I might, Josh,
Yep.
Just the application for Kite Day, I think has a few points worth mentioning here. This is our annual field trip to Short Beach for kite flying. We plan a project about mathematicians, and that research is what we use to design the kites. The culmination of our project is our trip to the beach to fly the kites. This trip to Short Beach has happened for all of 13 years at Coolidge.
Yeah, very nice. All right, we don't have anything to change in the warrant, right? So no need to open and close the warrant. What about the omnibus budget?
No, we can
No?
skip that too.
All right. So that's it. Coast Guard housing update. That no more votes. So Coast Guard housing update. You want to walk us through that, Tony?
Yeah, so in your packet here is a full sale process overview for lots. So in chronological order, lot 1, 3, 7, 9, 11, 8, 6, and 2 have all been sold. We have a purchase and sale agreement for lot 4 and 10. So of the 11 lots that we put up for sale, only one remains that we didn't receive a bid, lot number 5. And all the rest either have been sold or 2 of them are under agreement. Lot number 2 is actually we did the closing documents today. It should be recorded tomorrow. So technically tomorrow, that one will be sold. So the total funds received as of tomorrow will be $4,064,951. And then after lot 4 and 10 close, should they close, the total funds received will be $5,104,951. If you remember, we had an original loan that purchased the property for $1.866 million. We paid that off in January of 2025 with the proceeds of these sales. And we had a second loan authorized by town meeting for costs associated with preparing the land for sale, which was $1.3 million. We've already paid $575,250 in January towards that. So there's a balance of $724,750. But when you add the original loan and the second loan total, it adds up to $3.166 million. So if you take, if lot 4 and 10 close as expected, that $5,104,951, and subtract the loan amounts of $3.166 million, there's an additional $1,938,951 additional expenses we'll have to pay at the end related to, legal expenses with the sale documents and the listing services. But we have 2 more properties that remain to be sold. We're going to town meeting for authority to put those out on the street when they're ready to go. And we have $218,187 left from that second loan that we'll use for the preparation of Lot 12 when it's vacated and we have to demo the building and remove the underground oil tank. So we're sitting just under about $2 million in profit right now. Like I said, there'll be additional expenses paid out of that. But we have 2 more properties to sell. So that's the update.
Yeah, that's great, and I think, this is a perfect example of one of those things that from the outside looking in looks like, oh, that's easy. Just sell these 12 lots, and I can assure you it was not easy.
How many years?
So many moving parts.
How many years?
Yeah, I mean, the town's been trying to get this done for close to 20 years, so, and I really have to give you the credit, Tony. Awesome job on that.
Well, like I always say, it's a team effort. There's been a lot of, how many people served on Coast Guard, Housing, Design and Development Committees, Finance Committee and Review, Planning Board had a process in that, obviously town meeting. Staff helping out with managing the expenses or managing the procurements and project management of the preparation of the property for sale.
It's over 10 years?
Well, town meeting voted to authorize the sale, I think, in 2021. And that's when this, final phase of the process really took off. But,
There was a
been a
year
lot
of, people were given a full year to vacate.
town meeting asked that we give residents 1 year to vacate the properties, and then we started the process of subdividing the properties. Then we went to procure funding for the demolition, and it far exceeded our original appropriation, so then we had to have a special town meeting for additional borrowing.
I was taking it back to the birth of the committees,
That's about 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. So it is, like you said, it seems like simple, but it's been a million steps. Dan and I have spent countless hours going through a number of different issues, and but to be sitting here saying that of the 11 properties we put up for sale at the beginning of May, we can say that 10 of them have been sold. That's, with almost $2 million in profit to the town, it's a good
that's
situation to be in.
My favorite challenge for selling these properties was having to demonstrate that they wouldn't interfere with flights to Logan when you built the house.
We had to get 12 aeronautical studies from the FAA.
Believe that? So there's all sorts of things involved in.
There was language in the original deed when it was transferred from the federal government to the town that said they could not be developed without approval from the FAA. And so we wanted to make sure that was clean before we put them up for sale so it wouldn't cause a problem with closing. And we had to figure that out in, 5 days.
That's right, yeah, that was it.
But we got it done, so.
Yep, well done. Anything else on Coast Guard housing?
No.
All right, town administrator's report.
All right, so we are in the final week of preparation process for town meeting. On Friday, the Finance Committee report book will go to the printer so that it's ready to be delivered to all households 2 weeks prior to town meeting. So this process starts back in really December and then really picks up in January till this week. It's probably been about 6 or 7 consecutive weeks of 4 meetings a week between CPC, Planning Board, Board of Selectmen, Finance Committee. Allison Nieto, our Finance Director, heavily involved in that process as well, meeting with department heads and going through the budget, looking at requests and putting together a balanced budget for you to send over to the Finance Committee. Meanwhile, Planning Board working on a zoning article and their process that they have to go through a public hearing. So I want to just commend, all the volunteers and the staff that have been part of that process. Tomorrow night we have our final Finance Committee meeting, which will probably be a late one, just to get everything cleaned up and ready to go to the printer on Friday.
What time is that?
I think 6:30. Do you have the calendar memorized? 6:30. And then the community breakfast in May, I'll present at the community breakfast in May, like we do on an annual basis, to talk about the budget and the articles that are in front of us. And then I will host some public forums prior to town meeting and have some open office hours prior to town meeting so that residents can attend if they have any questions and they want to hear more about the articles that are in front of them. We give them that opportunity. And also the office hours, in case residents aren't comfortable speaking in a public forum, they can sit down with me and I can go through some of the articles and elements of the budget. On MBTA 3A, which is not going to be featured in the upcoming town meeting, we filed a application with Mass Housing Production for technical assistance, and they have connected us with a consultant, connected that consultant with the planning board, so they'll be starting a process of laying out a schedule and scope for the MBTA 3A zoning requirement, which will likely be discussed at a special town meeting in the fall.
That consultant is paid for by the state, is that correct? Yeah.
Right, so the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities provided funding to MHP, which then provides funding directly to the consultant off of our application. So there's no exchange of funds through the town to the consultant. We give MHP a list of services that we're going to be seeking. Every community is different. Ours, we checked every box of need because we are so limited in resources, and specified that we're a small community, adjacent small town, and they put us in touch with, they had a list of consultants that were familiar with small communities with little to no resources, and community scale was at the top of their list. So put us in touch with them, and the planning board will be speaking with them to see if we can develop a scope and schedule that the public process will really get started after town meeting. And that was done deliberately to avoid confusion between MBTA 3A and ADUs, which is on the warrant for the upcoming town meeting. The planning board finalized their recommendation, which will be included in the Finance Committee book, and they worked with myself and Dan after getting comments through their public process on the proposed ADU zoning article and getting comments from EOHLC, the state. They are proposing some changes to the article that they originally sent to us. Those changes will have to be made as a floor amendment during town meeting, and those changes will be included as an appendix in the Finance Committee book, so residents can see it ahead of time, and they're described in their recommendation as well. Real estate bills, as you mentioned, are due May 1st. We had a slight issue with our printing company who prints the bills. Allison and Ed jumped on top of the issue immediately and figured out what the problem was. There was some of the bills inadvertently were picked up the legacy owner of that property. So they talked with our company that we work with, figured out a solution quickly, and got that solved and sent new bills out. So if you received a tax bill that has a previous owner's name on it, the tax bill is fine. You can pay that bill. It will be registered to you. When your payment will be registered to you. But you will, if you haven't already, you'll receive a new bill with your name on it for the same amount. So I want to commend Ed and Allison on working on that and getting that fix out the door quickly. And then lastly, our Willow Road stormwater work, phase 1 of that stormwater work, and the Goddard Drive water main project are complete. So now we'll be going into phase 2, which includes some added stormwater improvements on the lower end of Emerald Road. And then we'll have to procure and permit, we'll have to go in front of Concom likely for the phase 3, which is stormwater improvements on Whiteway, lower pond between Emerald and White, and then Valley at the bottom of Ocean Street as well.
Is that the stormwater repair on Willow Road, kind of near Richie's house, that's complete now, right?
So the outfall pipe that goes behind Richie's house had a break in it. It was clogged at the end, so that's been repaired completely. But the next step is we want to line the entire line from the street to the end of the outfall pipe, because there's some older pipe material still remaining that goes under Richie's house. So now that we have it all cleaned and we have the break fixed, it's prepared for lining services.
Yeah,
So
but there
that'll
was
be
a
the next
collapsed
step.
section that runs towards Bear Pond, like in front of Emma Green's house, right?
That is part of the stormwater system that goes from catch basin to catch basin. We actually increased the size of that stormwater pipe, replaced it with plastic material versus metal. We rerouted it to the other side of the street where it actually rerouted later on down the road anyways, which helped with pitch. And then we added more catch basins as well. So that should, I didn't get to go down there during the rainstorms this week, but I was excited to go down and see water running into the storm drains and not filling up the road.
Yeah.
As sad as that sounds. Those are like the exciting moments for us. But that should help immensely. And then phase 2 and phase 3 will as well.
Tony, with all the cuts taking place in the federal budget, is our stormwater sand project protected?
Our Short Beach grant
Yeah.
that has so that's, we have a contract signed by both parties, so I think the contract should hold us safe in keeping that grant.
It's just something that's been asked.
Yeah,
It's a tough one.
Yeah, politics today, and at the federal level, it's hard to predict how things will go and whether a contract will keep us safe. But I will say that our contract with FEMA and MEMA is signed by the federal government and by the town, so I hope it does keep us safe. I hope we're scheduling a kickoff meeting with MEMA for the first week of May.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah, I've had a couple of people ask about what the background is on the dolphin grounding.
I don't know, maybe you have some insight Rob, but we have had a few, we have had a few dolphins wash ashore this spring. We've reached out to, I forget the name of the company that's, or foundation that has come out and taken the deceased dolphins and run testing on them.
I know the samples have been taken. I'm not at all sure what they're looking for, hoping to find. No, I really have no information on it at all.
I should ask, that's been removed?
They've all been removed except for the most recent one. The foundation came and got samples and said, let it be removed on its own.
Okay.
Do we know how many there were?
It's been two.
Three.
There were two anyhow.
Two recently, and then one previous to that, maybe last year, that I know of.
I was gonna say three.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that, actually, that wasn't a dolphin we had down there, that was a seal. Yeah, so it was just three.
So if that doesn't move on its own, so to speak, do we have somebody that could tow that up?
Well, I think they're small enough, I think we just bury them.
Okay.
When I asked today, it sounded like it has already washed out to
Oh,
sea,
good.
so I don't think it's,
It hadn't been down there.
yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, so next up is citizen comment, and I see a citizen that wants to comment.
I just called on the dolphin that's on Doggy Beach. Rex found it, and it's probably about this big, but it has a big gash in it, but we called the ocean, wildlife people, dolphin and whale 911 number. And so we gave them the beach where it was. She never said if they were going to come get it, but she did take it where it was, the location and stuff like that. And she said the gash in it looks pretty bad, but it was probably from aggressive seabirds after it was on the beach, attacking it. But it was down there yesterday. It was still down at Doggy Beach
Yeah.
yesterday. It's big,
All right,
but it's been reported.
all right. Brendan?
Brendan Brown, Homestead, 2 Summer Street. I guess general question, I noticed in the meeting notice, there's no Zoom link cited. Finding out if this is just for this particular meeting, or is this going forward, no longer having Zoom broadcasts?
It's Josh's last meeting, so we've kind of initiated a new tradition for the last meeting of any sitting selectman, that we would do it here in the main.
On the rare occasions we have meetings in here, that's why I can't be on Zoom.
Well, the other historical problem I've had watching on cable is actually maybe, I don't know, with the microphones, like that, we can hear you occasionally, depending on where you are. Sometimes if you lean back, you become very distant and trying to play with the TV volume. So I don't know if there's, if you talk with the sound people to try to figure out, make sure they set the volume, because for years, that's been my difficulty with watching it on the cable.
Is that only when we're in this room?
It's generally in this room. I don't know if it's because maybe your meeting notes are in front of you, so the microphone is set a little bit further back. But that's kind of one of the problems I've observed over time.
Yeah, I mean, it will no longer be up to me whether things are on Zoom, but I suspect these guys will continue with the Zoom participation. A lot of people do seem to like that. Hybrid's kind of a nice option that we can do from downstairs, which we've done a few times. It really is, I think, and I think you guys agree, it's nice to all be sitting in the same room.
Yeah.
Makes it for a more effective meeting. And then when we're downstairs, we can be on Zoom too, so people can either come in person, or they can be at home on Zoom, kind of the best of both worlds. So,
I don't anticipate any change there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
It makes it a lot easier to interact,
Of course.
I think.
It also helps, like, people travel for business, and sometimes we're not just
Yeah.
want to be able to keep tabs.
You're right.
Yeah, including me. I mean, I've done a number of meetings from other places, so, yeah. I think these guys will keep that tradition going.
I think Marilyn minutes go. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. All right, any other comments? Okay, so we do have to adjourn into an executive session, which means, sadly, that you will all have to leave. So maybe, would you guys mind if we take a short break before we go into
Yeah,
executive session?
5 minute recess or something
All
like
right.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, so we'll take a 5-minute recess. And